All right. And welcome to this week's episode of the Roll-Wise Actual Play with your three goofy musketeers, Mike, Brent, and Jeff. We are, of course, playing a continuation of Delta Green, Last Things Last. Brent is our keeper. Is that what they call him in Delta Green? Keeper? I keep on forgetting for some reason. Handler. He's our handler. A keeper or a handler, same thing.
You can just say GM or whatever. Brent's running the game.
Brent's running the game. He is the master with all the puppet strings or whatever it may be. But before I turn the reins over to him, I did want to apologize firstly because my voice is crazy. And then I also wanted you to, if you do like our content, please like, subscribe, send us a comment, say hello, tell us what you like about us, tell us what you don't like about us. We just like talking with people. If you go through our history, you'll notice that we really love talking with all you internet strangers. Don't have to be strangers for long, I guess. But needless to say, go ahead, Brent. Why don't you take this over, and I'm going to rest my throat for when we run into the Cosmic Horrors.
So welcome everybody to the live stream. We are continuing Last Things Last by Shane Ivey, written by Arc Dream Publishing. Last week, our agents in the conspiracy, or the program as it's been called to them, were called upon to go investigate a man's house named Clyde Bowman. Clyde Bowman passed away something like 12 hours before they were called in. They needed to look around his house and find anything that could tie Bowman to the program, any evidence of anything strange or anything at all that may... Basically, they got a "you'll know it if you see it" type of message to search his house. So in the process of doing so, they discovered that Clyde Bowman had a cabin about 2 hours away from his apartment in upstate New York, which they quickly had a very interesting car drive out to 2 hours, including gas station, egg salad sandwiches, and roller hot dogs, and they have just now arrived at Clyde Bowman's cabin. Could you go ahead and introduce your characters again for us, guys?
Go ahead, Jeff.
I don't have my character sheet up. Haha.
All right, that means it's your turn, Mike. You first.
Oh, okay. That backfired. So I am playing Nathaniel Cedar, goes by Nate. He is a federal agent currently on administrative leave due to his last assignment ending in kind of a weird and strange way. He is a mature gentleman of the young, spry age of 55, a silver fox, one could say, a very stoic individual, tends to wear suits because he feels comfortable in them, almost like a second skin at this point. Never really gets out of the FBI mindset. So he obviously has got a rocky relationship with his wife that got even more rocky in the last session. And so we'll see if that somehow doesn't come to bite me.
Nathan is a strong proponent of happy wife, happy life.
Which is why he has been lying to her a lot lately as a member of Delta Green.
That's why he made plans that he immediately said he couldn't make about 4 hours after he made them. Jeff,
exactly.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm ready. I'm playing Stephen Lair, I think I'm a middle management criminal, middle management criminal,
white collar criminal.
Yeah, with a blue collar background.
Professional white collar criminal.
Yeah, professional white collar criminal. Yeah. I have been conned into joining this group by obviously a bogus charge.
Yeah,
but I at least didn't have to pay a lawyer to beat it. So
this is a good point. They did save
I'm
you a
here
lot of money.
I'm
here under duress, and that's what it will say on all of his legal paperwork. So you guys have just arrived. It is 6 o'clock New York time. You guys are starting. It's about dusk, starting to get dark in the kind of forested area of upstate New York. You are standing outside of Clyde Bowman's cabin. As you guys open the door and close them, the gravel and the little parking area crunches underneath your feet, and you see before you a one-story kind of faux log cabin. It's a cabin, but it has like a faux log exterior. One story. It's not huge. It's kind of nice. But other than that, yeah, the windows are all dark. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I mean, first things first for me, I would suggest we just check the perimeter, make sure there aren't any outbuildings. Maybe there's a shed or something like that that would be easier to search than the cabin. So I think circling would be my first goal, especially since I'd like to do that before it gets really dark.
Okay.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, whatever.
You did. You do remember you did have the camping gear. There were flashlights in the camping gear if you do need them conveniently. So you guys do have flashlights. So as well as some other gear. So yeah.
I think we should grab flashlights just in case.
Okay.
But we should check. We should stick together too, I think.
All right. Yeah, sure. I mean, I doubt he has any type of presence here, but you never know. He could have something weird.
As you kind of circle the house, you go around the back. It is basically it's like a cleared area where this cabin was built. It's on a concrete pad and everything like that. It's cleared. As you go around the right side of the house, of the cabin, you do see a shed, like a storage shed, a few feet away from the house. A few feet away from that, little ways back towards the trees, is a outhouse. Kind of a dirt path going to the outhouse. So, and as you look, there's a dirt path going to the outhouse, a dirt path going kind of dirt area going to the shed, and then another dirt path leading out kind of down towards the forested area. But as you walk around perimeter, yeah, that's basically what you see. Those are the only distinguishing marks outside the home are the shed, the outhouse, and then this other path.
I'll check the shed and see if I can find your rope so you can thoroughly check out the outhouse.
I put on my gloves. I'm not. I think if it's down in the detritus or whatever it is of the outhouse, I doubt many people are going to go plumbing for that. Especially his kids are going to get there, going to be like, outhouse. This is
let's go dig through the outhouse.
Well, yeah, but you should probably check, under the hole along the rim just to make sure there's nothing there.
Well, yeah, I'm going to do the basic checks.
I do hand out the box of gloves. I unless you want to use your leather ones, I've got the nitrile gloves I bought at the drugstore.
I'll take his gloves for this particular.
I'm definitely
assignment.
putting some on.
Okay. Do you both go to the shed or?
Well, we'll split up.
Yeah. If he's willing to split up, I just didn't want to check the outhouse.
I think that the outhouse isn't very many feet away from the shed, right?
No, you're pretty much within like eyesight of each other. They're not very far away.
Yeah. Then I'll go and I'll go to the outhouse and.
Okay, you're going to the outhouse. You're going to the
shed. Yes.
Go Gotham that crawls out of the outhouse. As funny as that would be. Okay, well we'll do the tool shed first. Steven opens the tool shed door. It has like a padlock on it that's on the key ring that you guys had. So you unlock it. And inside is it's kind of a small tool shed, looks like a desk on one side, then assorted tools. As you look through, you find the normal stuff. Just tools. The only thing that kind of stands out is kind of strange is there is 21 gallons of gas in the shed, like gallon gas tank, like gallon, like Johnny cans, like gallon tanks, and there's about 21 of them just kind of lined up in like a shelf.
Well, my first thought is why couldn't the guy purchase $5 cans?
And you can kind of think that a reason that a person might not do that is buying a large quantity of gas all at once could stand out. This was obviously probably bought over time.
Do I see anything flammable like a rag?
Oh yeah, you could find one if you look for it.
I'm gonna look for one. I'm just gonna rig one up to be a very large Molotov cocktail.
Okay.
I'm not gonna carry it around, but I'm gonna have something ready.
Okay. While he is preparing the makeshift explosive, Steven, you go over to the outhouse. What do you have? Do you have a forensic skill?
Nathan and
Nathan. Does Nathan have a forensic skill?
And I have a forensic skills of 50. Yes.
Oh, okay. So with your kind of forensics background and being kind of experienced, you know that this outhouse probably hasn't been used in months, at least 2 or 3 months. So it's been quite a while since anybody's been out here, most likely.
Okay. Well, it's still not going to stop me from searching it, but it is going to mean it doesn't smell as much because the natural.
No, it's
biological.
Just the vintage. It's the vintage
Yeah,
poop.
it smells like it smells like an old hole in the ground with bacterium in it. But it's not. I mean, it's like a closet with a toilet in it. There's not really much. A couple extra rolls of toilet paper.
I've been in an outhouse. Just tell me as we go through the searching, because there's not really many places to hide stuff because it becomes
like I said,
fairly obvious.
A couple extra rolls of toilet paper. That's pretty much all you find.
No loose boards around the base or anything like that. And I shine my light and I don't see that this guy's a bad shot.
You do a very thorough examination of the outhouse. I feel like I want to take an hour with Nathan, just forensically, like
a pocket black
taking
light,
apart the
and then
house. But no,
and then after I'm done, just hey, I'm not going to go wrist deep because first of all, it's in a house. It's a very deep hole. I'm not going to go into the hole, but I just want to make sure that at least
nothing around the rim, nothing hidden in the link, like backrest piece, nothing like that.
All right. The gloves. I'm not gonna throw the gloves into the outhouse, but I am gonna take the gloves off and I'm going to wrap them up into themselves, kind of thing, in a way that makes them less gross.
Okay. So yeah, nothing in the outhouse. Just a lot of gasoline in the tool shed.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, can you think of a reason why he's got 21 gallons of gas and 1 gallon containers in there?
Could be a way of telling time. He might have the ability to, like if he has a generator, he might use that to know how much generator time he has. There's a lot of different speculative reasons why you can have that.
In case we got to burn anything, I rigged one of them up to
burn.
So he's just like, I rigged one of the 21 gallons of gasoline. My eyebrows kind of like one of them goes up. Oh, really?
Well, if what evidence we find has to be destroyed, then I'm just saying.
Well, how about this?
You should know in case one of us has to go out there and get it. Because I'm not carrying around a gallon of gas.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
And if it doesn't come up, somebody's going to go, why did somebody stuff a rag in the end of this gas can? That seems like a poor choice. And then
seems strange.
Yeah, seems strange.
Yeah, the dad was just so weird. But needless to say, I mentally note that the gas can is available.
So do we go down the path into the woods, or should we just check out the cabin?
How much time did that take, and how much daylight do we have left?
It took about, 15 minutes.
I think we can at least see where the path goes while it's still a little bit light, if it's still light.
Okay.
So
you guys gather up and you go down the path. It's not really down. It's a little bit of a slope, but it goes to the edge of the woods, about probably 4 or 5 yards away from the house. And what you see is there's some, as you're shining around with your flashlights, basically you see there's an exposed, like the top of a septic tank, like the square top of a septic tank with the earth kind of mounded up around it. It's exposed and it has some thick like logging chains looped through it, and it's padlocked tight.
Okay.
That seems odd.
Roll. Could both of you roll perception for me? Or what is it? Awareness? What's their perception? What is it?
Sure.
Alertness?
Alertness. Yes, please.
Alertness 70 for me. Brent or Jeff, what do you got?
50.
Go ahead and both you roll it. Yeah.
Okay. We both crushed it, it looks like.
So yeah. So as you're kind of standing there in front of this, in front of the padlocked, exposed septic tank, which is definitely sort of odd, you notice for a moment how quiet it is. It's very quiet in this clearing. Like, you don't hear the sounds of animals or anything like you normally would sometimes in the woods. Nothing in the night. But on the wind, you hear a small sound of weeping, like a woman crying.
Coming from inside it?
The closer you get, the louder it gets, yes. Go ahead and make a sanity test for me.
How do you make sanity?
2d6, roll under your, in order to pass, you need to roll under your current sanity, which looks like is 50 for Nathan.
It's 50 for me.
50 for both of you.
It's just 2d6?
Or no, sorry, not 2d6. It's just like any other roll. It's
just like any other roll. Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
I meant to say 2d10. Sorry.
Oh, well, that's why it was confusing me. 96. I'm a little creeped out, I think.
Oh, wow. Jeff does not pass. Roll a 1d6 for me, Jeff.
1d6.
Yep.
Okay.
46.
You mark off 2 sanity. You lose 2 sanity.
Okay.
This is definitely strange. Tell me, so it looks like Nathan copes with the situation fine. Weird noise doesn't seem to bother him at all. How does he justify it to himself? Because when you make a sanity roll, basically it means like you're like, oh no, that's probably just a radio we're hearing on the distance, or maybe.
How do I cope, or how does Jeff cope?
No, Jeff thing is creeped out.
I failed. I'm creeped the hell out.
Yeah, Jeff is like, oh shit, there's something wrong here. You are, oh no, you're handling it. So what is kind of how do you handle it?
Well, it could be a woman weeping, or it could be a red-bellied bird warbling.
Okay.
It's very common in these woods to have warbling birds that obviously sound like weeping women. It's the name of one of the birds, the weeping, warbling, red-breasted robin. Yep. And I don't mention it to Jeff that there's a weeping.
Yeah, so you're standing in front of it, and
robin.
the noise just kind of continues. The soft.
That sounds like a person.
Nope, obviously a bird. I wonder if it got inside somehow. There might be some ventilation that it got into or fell down into and couldn't find a way out.
I don't know. I'm beginning to think maybe I should have brought that gas with me.
For a bird? No. I mean, this looks locked up pretty
doesn't
tight.
Feel right, but why don't you go check the lock?
All right. So
I am staying like 3 yards behind him.
Okay.
So,
I am edging along as he starts to get to the edge of my flashlight light, but I am not like right up with him, and I keep checking the sides and the back. And
well, first of all, you said it's a septic tank, and while they do have an outhouse, this seems like a rather secure septic tank. Most people don't lock their septic tank. Like
most septic tanks aren't exposed. Most people,
no shit, Sherlock. They don't lock them because they're buried.
Yeah. So,
and they definitely don't weld pieces on to chain the lids down. No,
it's true. It's true. So I look, and I'll go over. Give it a knock, kind of a metalish clang, I'm sure. Is it a metal or concrete septic tank?
It's a metal septic tank.
So just kind of like a bong, bong, bong.
Yeah. So as the bong happens,
the bong happens.
The bong happens.
I'm in a totally different game now.
You hear as you knock on the septic tank. There we go. As you knock on the septic tank, the sound kind of rattles through the septic tank and in the night. And you hear the weeping stop. And you hear a voice say, "Help me. Who's there? Can you help me?" Go ahead and make
Those
another
Robins are
sanity.
clever,
Go,
but I
go
don't
ahead
think
and make
they can
another sanity test.
It's probably still that Robin.
Please help me. It's so cold down here.
40.
Yeah, I didn't pass in this case. My flimsy excuse of the bird call was not enough.
Roll a d6, please.
5. Ouch.
Ouch. I think
That hits hard.
that does hit hard. Let me check something really quick. So take 5 sanity off your total.
Yeah.
I think-
My breaking point is at 40. So
Well, it shouldn't be the same as your
no, my sanity is 50.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you're halfway there, but I think I have to check because I think if you lose 5 in a turn, something happens. Give me just a second.
Yeah, I'm creeped out, obviously.
Well, I mean, yes, it is very creepy, but more so. Hold, please. One moment. So as Nathan walks up, you see him knock on the. I'll just narrate a little bit here. See him knock on the pipe, and then you see him just pause as like you can't hear anything back as far as you are,
Right.
but it definitely he definitely pauses as if something happens. Give me 1 second here.
I say, what is it? What'd you hear?
Okay.
1 moment.
And so for a moment, it doesn't look as though there's any any number that you lose in a single turn that causes a thing that I'm seeing, at least initially. But so the way that this kind of
I'll find it later, but go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, that as I approach this, my brain translated that crying into some sort of bird warble. Like there's got to be some way into this septic tank that I don't know. But after I go and I kind of hear that metallic drum, like boom, boom, and I hear "Help me," come from inside. Like all the instincts of the FBI like kick in. Like there's no way there's a kid that could be out here. Like, and I kind of like. It just kind of goes into one of those things. It's
Okay,
like
I'm going to pause
this
you for
guy's
1
a
second.
psycho.
I'm going to pause you for 1 second. It is on page 69. It is in a moment of overwhelming stress after losing 5 or more sanity in a single roll, your agent loses self-control. So basically, you have three choices.
There it is.
Fight, flight, or freeze. So, do you want to run back towards the house? Do you just kind of freeze in place? Or do you just start shooting the tank?
I shoot the tank. There's no
Okay.
FBI agent.
Okay, so just can I ask, would he shoot the tank and the source of the voice, or would he shoot the lock or the chain or something to try to open it?
Either that's fine. Basically, whatever it is, with
I'm not playing Mike's character, so Mike can do what he wants.
Basically, what it is, and it's not. I mean, in basically in the struggle, the fight choice, you lash out randomly at the nearest threat. You don't really know what the threat is, so you could probably just say you don't do that or whatever. But those are basically your two options: is you're paralyzed for a moment, like a round, or flee.
I probably
I'm sorry, I forgot this. Or you can put that on your bonds. You can displace that on the sanity loss on your bonds before you fight, or freeze. And if you want,
I'll go ahead and just shoot it.
Okay.
FBI agent training takes over. I unload my entire clip into this drum.
I don't think that's FBI training, but
well,
after the second shot, I dropped to the ground because I was not expecting a volley of.
Okay, so yeah, tell me what you do.
basically I pull back, kind of surprised that something's in there, and I don't know why I think about this, but remember that failed assignment I have? I basically take my gun out and I shoot because my brain is kind of mixing my demons up at this point.
Okay.
And I go through and I waste an entire clip unless Jeff stops me. And I'm not shooting at Jeff, obviously. I'm just shooting at this giant
That's a
metal
tank.
drum,
At
which
the,
is
at
No,
the,
I hit the
obviously
ground because I don't know what happened.
at the source of the
uh,
disturbance.
and obviously, I made the most noise I possibly could.
Go
hearing-
ahead and roll your firearms. Or no, let's go. Go ahead and roll your luck. Actually, just roll the 2d10, and tell me if you roll under or above your luck stat.
Oh, I have a luck skill. I thought it was just
or power. Sorry, that's your luck stat.
power 50. Okay, so it's a 50-50 at this point. Daddy needs a new pair of shoes. 38. So I roll under my power stat.
Okay. So sheer luck, whether fortunate or unfortunate, a couple of the bullets actually do hit the heavy lock that is on the lid of the septic tank, and yeah, you snap it open. So even though there's a gunfire and it rattles in the metal of the tank, you continue to hear the voice, "Help me, who's there? Who's there?" But the tank is now technically open. Like it's unlocked. Like the chains are starting to slip off.
Right. After like 2 seconds of silence of him shooting, I'm like, "What the hell are you doing?" Like in the loud whisper, right?
Yeah, that deafening moment, that crash of silence that comes back in after gunfire and in the quietest place you've ever been in your life. Yeah.
I might be yelling because he has ruined both my night vision and my night hearing. My hearing now. The hell are you doing?
I'm reaching for another clip. That's what I'm doing. You might want to restrain me now, Jeff, or forever hold your peace.
What's in there? Is there a threat? Is there something wrong? As I get up and move towards him, and I put my hand on his shoulder, like, calm down. You fired enough bullets to kill 3 people. Now, do I hear the voice?
Yeah, you're close enough to hear the voice now. Help me. It's cold in here. Please, somebody help me out. I can't
get it.
I can't reach the door.
That's why the next clip's good.
It's a quiet woman's voice echoing in the
All right. You know what? I noticed the lock is open.
Tank.
So I pull out my gun and
Mhm.
I'm going to open the lid.
Okay.
And I'm telling him to, like, use your flashlight, cover me.
Okay.
Well, does he successfully restrain me and bring me back to some sense of
yeah. He touches your shoulder and you kind of realize that it kind of grounds you back into the moment. And then so you stop, you still load your clip in, but he walks over and he kind of pulls the chains back and opens the door. So tell me exactly how you open the door.
I'm assuming it's like a garbage can, like a flip top thing.
Yep.
All right.
It's kind of a heavy metal lid set.
If he's covering me and providing light, I have the gun in my hand and I'm trying to just pull the chains loose and then flip it up and then step back so that I can, have a gun ready.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Is that enough of a description?
So you flip the lid back. I was just wondering if you were leaning over the lid and like shining your flashlight.
No, I'm trying to just in case. I don't know that I believe if it frightened a veteran FBI agent enough to shoot into it.
So it is
I'm not sticking my face in.
Well, it is kind of hard to see unless you stick your face in. So basically what happens is you open the lid, the light shines in the lid, and you kind of see the back of the tank.
All right, then I'm going to get my flashlight out and, do the whole, edging closer so that...
Yeah. So as you get closer, you do see that it's dark in there, and there's one square shaft of light kind of juggling back and forth as your flashlights shine in. And you see in the dark, in that thin shaft of light that you guys are shining in, you do see a figure down there, ankle deep water, kind of sloshing towards the light. And the voice is definitely louder now. Hello, I need a way out. Can you? I need somebody to help me out.
Does it look human?
You would
I
have
would
to get
shine. I would shine the flashlight on it.
yeah. So what you see, what you see is you see an older woman, probably in her late 60s, that looks gray, pallid skin, the type that. Well, has Steven ever seen a body that's been in water for an extended amount of time?
I would say that it's possible.
Okay.
I will
Well,
admit nothing under oath,
once
but it is possible that I have seen a floater or two.
once a long time ago, you saw a guy that drowned who had been in the river for days. And the pallid jelly-like texture of the skin is the same type of skin that's walking towards you, speaking in that quiet, womanly
I'm like,
voice.
what's your name? Because I turn to the FBI. You said, are you seeing this? She looks like she died 3 weeks ago.
Let me find 1 second. I'll get her name.
I don't know if I can get in there with you if that's not that big of a hole.
So she says,
I mean, we've got the hole around. I mean, I would think that you could get.
yeah, it's about a foot.
Not
It's about
next
12 inches by 12 square.
Yeah, I mean,
A little bigger than 12 by 12. It's big enough that a person could get in there if need be. Let's put it that way. Maybe not me,
Okay.
but another person.
Sure. Like, yeah, no, I'm not expecting us to be hip to hip, Mike. But I mean, if I'm shining my light in there, I was trying to get you to shine your light. You know what I mean?
When you ask what her name is, she says, "My name's Marlene Bowman. I've been down here a while. I just want out. It's just so cold. I need to get out."
We need to look for something to help you, Marlene. But who locked you in here?
Clyde locked me in here. I fell asleep, and then something happened, and I woke up in here. I think he was trying to help, but I don't know. Something happened, and you hear kind of sloshing in the water as she walks closer to the entrance.
You notice anything hinky about her eyes or fingers or teeth or just the skin being all white?
No, she's clearly been dead for roll sanity, by the way. She's clearly been dead for a while. She's not rotting per se, but she's definitely a waterlogged graying corpse, nude graying corpse.
I think in an 80 I fail.
You do fail. Roll 1d10, please. Oh, you only lose one.
I went up from a 6 to a 10.
So yeah, you only lose one sanity. Yeah, this is obviously a walking corpse. That's a little bit weirder than somebody might be in the tank.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. No, I was sorry. That was me out of character, just asking a question. I'm fine with it.
So
not arguing.
It's from like there's grades to how weird it is, and she's obviously not okay. And she's obviously been in the water for quite a while. So so mark off one sanity point.
Okay.
And she just keeps saying the same things. I just need out. Can you get out? I just need to get warm. There's a fireplace inside. I used to like sitting by the fires with Clyde. Where is Clyde?
Clyde's dead.
Oh. I don't know what to say about that. And she kind of pauses.
I look at the FBI agent. I said, go get the gasoline.
I run for the shed.
Are you going to get me out? She keeps talking to you the entire time he's gone. So he runs towards the shed. She says, are you going to help me get out?
We're going to take care of it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I smoke, so I don't even have to worry about where.
So she walks towards the light and reaches her arms up towards you, her kind of milky eyes staring up at you, and like loss of hair, just the wet hair clinging to her body. And she reaches her arms up to you, for you. She says, "Pull me out. Just pull me out."
I fire the gun.
Okay.
I feel like you're betraying your trust, Jeff.
They told me that we were supposed to destroy any evidence of...
Go ahead and roll your firearms, sir. There's many more bullets in this. There's many more bullets in this than I expected.
I definitely missed.
What did you roll?
79.
Oh, okay.
My firearms is only 40.
So, what's your dexterity?
My dexterity is 10.
Okay.
We're
Times
just
5, it's 50.
hey Brent, all we're trying to do is make as many little holes in this as possible so it can draw oxygen in for the gasoline. and the
Okay.
fire.
What's your dexterity? Nathan?
My dexterity.
Yeah.
Would he pull the gun out and shoot?
No, just I need to know for initiative.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. Dexterity is an 11 or 55.
Okay. So initiative in Delta Green is determined by who has the highest dexterity stat.
Okay.
And we've officially started combat because you just shot at it. So what happens is so another bullet rings out. Nathan, you start a little as another gunshot, not you this time, rings out in the night. And so what happens is so you fire a shot down at the body and miss. You hear it ping off the back of the septic tank, and you see the thing below you jump, just standing jump up to the top of the lid, and start crawling out. As it's crawling out, you can watch the gray skin slough off and the sides of the because this bloated body, just you can watch the side skin slough off as it starts crawling its way out of the small septic tank hole. All I wanted was help. All I needed was for you to help me out.
You are not natural, lady.
And what was Nate's dex again?
Nate's was
55.
11. Yeah, 55.
Dexterity, sorry.
He had 11. I have a 10,
11.
so he's
Okay.
before me.
So you were before. So it's going to take you 2 turns to gamble gas can and run back. So Jeff, it's your turn.
I'm trying to decide whether I start trying to beat her back down the hole with the gun in the head or shoot again. Because my unarmed combat is somehow better than my firearms.
We are thuggy, so
I am thuggy. I will try to pistol whip her since I'm assuming she's so close.
Okay, roll your unarmed combat.
Man, she is rattling me. She is creepy as hell.
So yeah, you basically with her trying to, she has her arms still out, like she basically like kind of Supermaned up through the entrance. And so she's kind of grabbing you, even though not as like an attack, but like to pull herself out. So you try and pistol whip her, and it kind of, you notice that even though her skin looks spongy, it seems very hard. And so you manage to make contact, but it like glances off her head. And the bottom of your pistol, like little clump of hair comes off in the bottom of the pistol. And she just keeps, and so at this point, yeah, she just keeps crawling out.
Okay.
Let's see. So it would be her again. So she
Right.
is going to attack you this time.
I figured.
Because you are not a nice man to her.
I am not.
yeah. Don't worry. He shot all those bullets into the tank earlier too.
Let's see what she rolls.
51 isn't great.
She rolled a 60. Do you see 51?
I see. Yeah, because you rolled, for some reason, it registered yours as a D10 plus a 1DX and it added them together.
Oh, well, here, let's do this differently then. There. So
that time it registered.
Yeah, as a 91. So what happens is she still has kind of has a hold of you. Like you could back up if you want. But she's pretty much just clawing and biting at you. Her main priority seems to be getting out. The tank. But she is attacking you now aggressively.
Okay.
And she just keeps saying the same thing. I just wanted out. All you had to do was help me. You and the other one, all you had to do was help me. Once I was out, I would have left everybody alone. I just want to see Clyde again. I want to go in the cabin and be warm.
Am I close enough to shut the lid on her?
You can do an
Is
unarmed
that-
attack. See if you can. She's too far
Nope.
out at this point. You'd have to do something else.
Then I'm gonna go back to trying to shoot her.
Okay. You're point blank, so I think you get a plus 10% now. So go ahead and make a roll.
11.
Critical.
Ooh, critical success. Excellent job. Now I have to look up how firearms work.
Because we weren't supposed to be this shooty.
Let's see, what is the damage? What type of pistol did you have?
A 9mm.
Let's see, what's the damage on the 9mm?
Would it be is that a medium pistol?
Yeah, it's medium pistol.
So 1d10 damage.
Yep.
NA lethality. Armor capacity 15.
What's the lethality
Armor
on it?
piercing NA. There's no lethality, no.
Yeah, there's no lethality. So yeah, roll your 1d10
Okay.
or damage.
3.
Let's see here. So again, kind of what happened before is you see the bullet hit her. It impacts the kind of spongy looking gray of her body, but you see the bullet kind of just flatten out and fall off her skin.
Okay.
You didn't really get any penetration on the corpse. So that was 2 rounds. So
Do I
Nat,
get any bonus for the crit or anything, or is it just the D10?
it's double damage. So you did
6.
You did 6 points damage. So yeah, it actually did
Okay.
go into her. So you did do 2 points. You did do damage to her that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just asking.
No, thank you for reminding me.
rules,
No, thank you for reminding me it was a crit. I had forgotten. So you do put a hole in her chest. She does continue to crawl towards you. She's crying, weeping again. Now that you have injured her, she's crying, asking you why you would hurt her like that when she just wanted help.
Because Clyde's dead and you're dead, but you're still moving. I'm trying to restore the natural order. I am still skeeved out. I have seen a lot of stuff in my career as a criminal.
Nat is back now.
Okay. So I see this horror climbing out of the
gray-haired old woman.
thing.
Her skin sloughing off as she squeezes out of the tight hole, clawing and biting and kind of holding on to Stephen.
So, I mean, really, what needs to happen is he needs to jump back, and I need to light a can and throw it. Dude,
Or just douse her and hit her with your. I think if we just douse her, she'll go up pretty good, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, the problem is that how do you escape getting doused?
Well, hopefully you'd mostly throw it on her, and then I try and break away, like when she lets go of me. If she never lets go of me, yeah, it's super problematic.
Yeah, because
But in theory, the second she lights up, she lets go, she falls down, I fall down, I stop, drop, and roll. I'm looking at you. I'm going douser.
Okay, well, I don't have any problems dousing her. I guess what I'll try to do is, this is going to be an unusual weapon, is I'm going to try to splash gas near her, but away from Jeff's character somehow.
Well, yeah, she's still got part of her coming out of the hole. You could literally dump it all over the bottom half.
Roll your dexterity is what it'll be to make sure that you get it on her.
That's fair.
Okay.
This is a cluster mine.
We'll see if it's fair in a minute.
38. So I do get my dex, and so I somehow just Zorro this gas can around in a way that gets most of it on her, hopefully a negligible amount on Jeff.
Yeah, you don't miraculously somehow You get very little on him. You succeeded, so I won't. If you crit failed, you would have got a lot on him.
Oh, I'm
But
sure.
you
No, I'm sure.
Yeah, you didn't get a whole. You didn't get any on him. If you would have crit succeeded, you wouldn't have got any on him. But yeah, you managed to get most of the gas on her.
Okay.
Marla.
Then basically it's now up to one of us just to create some sort of spark to light this up somehow.
Yep. So she's gonna attack Jeff again first.
Sure. I mean, that makes the most sense. She's got a hold of me.
Screaming.
I have definitely upset her.
No, help! All I wanted was help.
All I want you to do is roll a 99.
At
A
12.
That's not good.
So let's see what she does for damage to Jeff. So good news. She lets go to claw at you with one of her hands. Bad news is she does so half that. So that's D3. So that would be 3 plus. Bad news is she does 5 points of damage.
Okay.
Ooh.
So what are you at hit point wise?
9.
Okay. Yeah, you're hurt.
I am.
But she did let go of you. She basically kind of let go and reared back and clawed at you.
Okay.
And tore into your chest. So now, I think I did it out of order last time. I'm gonna give Mike his turn, and then it'll be your turn.
That's fine.
You're technically last. In the initial
Okay.
order.
Sorry. Was not trying to jump in.
You're fine. He was gone out of the scene, kind of. So
well, that's true.
Yeah. So Nathan, it is your turn.
I pull.
Ask her out to the summer dance.
No, she's my gal, obviously. I take her down to the soda stand and we see if we can't get ourselves some Coca-Cola floats.
Nathan and Marlene.
Oh, Jesus. No, I think what my best option right now is so she like swiped at Jeff and got him pretty good. I'm going to use that momentum to kind of like pull him away, and hopefully that gives him an opportunity while he's, falling away to effectively shoot at the metal to see if it can cause some sort of spark. Now I know that that's very cinematic and very movie going, but he can either do that or he could throw his lighter, or he could do something.
I got a pack of matches. I could light the matches and fling the pack at her.
I didn't see this. I pull him away and he's like,
it's gonna be great when I fail to throw and make matches.
So it is your turn. So what would you like to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, make a dexterity test and see if you can light the match and throw it on her at the same time.
20.
Oh, yep. So yeah, you manage to spark the match, light it up, and you throw it directly into that nest of wet hair, now wet with gasoline. And she starts up. She kind of torches, and you can watch for some reason, like her skin starts to script. It's wet. It's been wet for a while. It was really moist down there, but she just starts to crisp. And you see it blacken, and she says, "All I wanted was help, but it's warm at least."
It is warm.
And then she falls back,
and you can be at peace.
And then she falls back into the tank. Where you hear kind of her voice change. You hear her voice turns into this low growl and says, "I'm going to find you. I will be in the dark. I will find both of you. You will never get away." It's Nathan's turn. You're muted.
Sorry, I was blowing my nose.
Actually, it was better with you being muted. Like you lost your voice.
I throw the gas can into the thing.
That gas can's empty. There's single gallons of gas. So,
well, there's still 20 left.
There's still fumes, yeah.
Maybe that's why he had 21 gallons of gas. Is that bottom 21 days of whatever the fuck this is? Yeah. So I think at this point it might be the best just to suggest that we, close that lid, run to get some more gas and maybe throw it in there. Or do you think it matters? Like, I don't fucking know.
I don't know either. It feels like things have gone sideways.
Well, I think what goes sideways. I think what we do is we take the gas and we burn down each of the buildings. Because I think 20 gallons of gas should be a good accelerant for just. I mean, because that also completes the mission, right?
Were we supposed to bring stuff back to them, or just if we
I think
found
that.
something, destroy it?
Well, I mean, let's look at the actual rules of engagement here. Because this is
Because
just as
stuff's definitely sideways now.
upside down, sideways. I think it's all directions.
Pear
besides-
shaped, right? That's
Yeah,
what our British
pear
friends
shaped,
say.
yeah.
It's pear shaped.
Fubar,
Pear-shaped.
I believe, is the name in military terms. So yeah, you hear the crackling.
Okay.
The voice continues, just deep-throated threats mixed with the voice of who you know as Marlene, still asking for help as the fire crackles.
Well, I
It
think
doesn't
another.
it's still gas, so the longer you wait, the more likely it's going to go out. There is water
Yeah.
down there.
Well, I was thinking that's why we should throw another gas can in there.
Well, let's get 4. We can each carry 2.
Okay, two hands each. 2 hands each. And so
roll 1d10 for me, Jeff, please.
Yes. 9.
Okay. Remove any evidence or activities. Errors are expected within 48 hours. Okay, no friendlies. This doesn't seem friendly. Marlene was supposed to have died a long time ago. Yeah, so that's not true. I forgot to ask, what year is this?
What year does it say she died?
It says she's died in 2002.
Yeah, it's 2023. It's current.
Okay. I was just like, wait, am I having?
She had
Do I have a
one
cell
can of
phone?
gas for every year she had been in there.
Pretty close.
Okay, yeah.
Ouch.
I mean, so the directives are proceed to the residence, remove any evidence, report security breaches, make sure everything's clean by then, no friendlies, and destroy the message, which obviously we did. I'm just reciting from memory or something
I
because
posted
I'm
it
clear-headed.
I posted it there for so you would. So yeah.
So I
you
think
guys,
four cans of
Okay.
gas is fine.
So you guys run and get to 4 cans of gas, and as you come back, you do hear like movement in the bottom of as you open the lid to pour the gas in. You do see the figure moving. So yeah, it's obviously still alive and still it's kind of babbling quietly now, but it's still saying the same kind of nonsensical things that it was before. So pour in the gas.
Well, the interesting part is I wonder if the gas would cause structural instability in this.
If we light enough gas all at once, there could potentially be an explosion because of the gas fumes. I mean, most of it would go out the top. It would go out the opening.
Well, let's at least pour a little bit more in there to see if we can dispose of the scores.
4 gallons of gas in the tank. And a reminder, there is water in there too. So, you know.
Yeah. Well, no, that's fine. It's just to help boil it alive, maybe.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we didn't have any frozen orange juice concentrate to mix with the gas to make napalm. But
so you light it up.
Orange juice?
Yeah.
There's a variety of ways. Probably don't want to put that out there. So yeah, you pour the 4 cans of gas down into the thing as it kind of shuffles and moves, and then throw another match in. There's a whoosh, really strong whoosh, is like a flame shoots out the top as the vapors and everything catch, and you hear the body burning, and then silence, except for the crackling, the light tink as the metal warms up.
Let's close the lid. Let's put a rock on it, and let's go search the cabin.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to decide how badly I'm wounded.
So I think
Pretty
what a rock isn't going to do enough. I think I'm going to try to find a way to like double the chain around itself so that
Okay.
it serves as like kind of locks itself.
There was
I
a
don't have
padlock
pad-
on the. There was a padlock on the shed.
Oh, okay, well, go grab that padlock then and
Yep.
run back.
All right. I'm going to take some gas into the cabin, but I'm going to go into the bathroom and try to fix myself up with no medicine skill. This is going to be great.
Yeah.
I'm looking for duct tape or.
Do either one of you have like? Yeah, you don't. There's
Well, you
some
have a
band-
first aid.
Oh, I have first aid. I have 10% first
Yeah.
aid and
Do you-
0% medicine.
I
What
have
do you have?
20% medicine and 10% first aid. I don't know
Okay.
which is better in this scenario, though.
Well, the higher skill.
I'm looking for staple guns. I'm looking
Because
for duct
unfortunately,
tape.
in this game, if you do poorly at your role to help someone, you actually can hurt them.
Sure.
So
Okay,
yeah,
so do you want me to attempt a medicine check?
you guys can go to the bathroom, and he's bleeding, so you can at least stop the bleeding if you make a medicine test. Actually, 20%, you can stop the bleeding. If you want him to do more than that, I'll make him roll for it.
I would take just stopping the bleeding.
Okay. So yeah, 20% medical and first aid. You go into he does have a first aid kit in the bathroom. So you do manage to, like, he has pretty deep furrows kind of in his chest. He may be missing a nipple. It's hard to say. But you manage to get some like like sanitize the wound and stop the bleeding and kind of wrap it up enough to where he can continue. But he's pretty hurt.
And as he's doing this, I'm like, and now I see why you feds wear that body armor.
Yeah, I don't. I look down. There's no obviously any body armor on me right now, and I kind of.
Well, I meant
Click
in
my
official
tongue.
operations.
So yeah, what do you do?
All right, we
You're
should
both standing in the
search
bathroom.
house. Yeah,
Uh,
I'll search the bathroom that looks like a murder zone now.
and it's kind of awkward because there's no running water in the house either. Like that's all been disconnected.
Sure.
So,
So probably used whatever saline was in the first aid kit,
yeah.
and that's all gone, leaving your DNA everywhere. Obviously,
That's why I brought the gas into the bathroom. That's where the fire's starting.
So yeah, you look around the apartment, or not the apartment, the cabin. After a short time of looking, under the bed that hasn't been slept in like 2 months, you find an old military footlocker, which you open, and inside is it's a collection of things. There's an old military blanket kind of covering what's under it, but there's a letter laying on top, just right on top as you open the lid. It is kind of weathered. Obviously, it's been there for quite some time. The envelope has a green triangle like inked on the front. So what do you guys want to do? Do you want to look through the box, look at the letter?
well, the letter is the most obviously deltagreen thing here, so I'd say start there.
Okay. So you open the letter, and in kind of a trembling, it's a handwritten letter, in kind of a trembling letter, it says, "To whom it may concern. If you're reading this note, I can assume I have died or become incapacitated before I've had the courage to complete my final mission. You'll find about 20 gallons of gas in the shed behind the cabin. Pour it into the septic tank besides the cabin and ignite it. You'd be happy if you didn't look inside. Please make sure that the remains are kept for my children. I'm so sorry. God, please forgive me. Clyde Bowman."
I click my tongue again. Well, we've still got 20 more gallons of gas to go, so let's 16
All right,
more.
I hand you back one of them. I'm dousing the bathroom in bleach. We should load the footlocker in the car, right? And the letter.
Yeah.
And then I'm pouring gas in the bathroom, 1 gallon of gas in the bathroom and lighting on fire. If we come up 1 gallon short, we come up 1 gallon short. Guess we could siphon a gallon out of the gas tank of the car.
No, I don't want to even potentially get stuck on the side of the road in upstate New York.
Yeah, before we leave, I will set the cabin on fire.
Okay. So yeah, you guys are standing in the car. or outside the car. You've loaded the military trunk up into the back of the SUV, and you kind of stand there for a moment. Again, just like at the beginning of the night, the gravel crunching. It's been a couple hours as you guys have searched and then thoroughly soaked the house and what was left of the gasoline. The house goes up, casting a bright orange light into the night air, and you swear, just for a second, you can still hear Marlene's voice, but then it fades off. And you get in the car and drive away.
That couldn't have been a real person, could it?
Who makes the call to your handler?
I'm assuming that Mike's driving now because I'm not in the best of shape. So I will try to call the handler.
Okay. So yeah, you call the handler. And a gruff voice answers. And I'm just gonna kind of hand wave through this a little bit. But so you tell him, you have the items of interest. He says not to go into detail on the phone. He says you have the thing. And he says, please meet me at the post office. I'll collect the package there. And it's the same post office that you guys met at before.
What if we need medical attention?
I can, once we go to the post office, I'll meet you there, and then I can give you the name of someone who can help.
Okay. All right, so we drive to the post office.
All right, so as you're driving, as Nathan's driving, it took you a couple hours, so you got there at 6. It's probably about 8:30. It's dark as you're driving down the interstate. As you're driving down the interstate, you start seeing fire trucks coming the other way, and police. And Nathan's phone dings with a text message, the contents of which you can only guess who it's from, asking where you are and what's going on. But you guys drive into the city. It was early. He said he would meet you there. When did you want him to meet you to deliver the package? Tonight or tomorrow?
I mean, it's
probably
the night. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he says he'll meet you there at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
So yeah, you drive into the post office. You deliver. What do you tell him when you enter the post office? He's there. He's a man kind of in a rumpled suit. Nathan, you almost swear you recognize him. He looks familiar, but you don't really know from where for sure. But he lets you in. He guides you guys, relocks the door, and guides you guys to the back of the post office. Turns the light on the back of the office, and says, "Okay, what's the debrief?"
I say, show him the letter.
Well, I think just kind of going like leading to the climax of the story. Say, well, we found, we talk about the scrubbing process, and I talk about it very clinically, like I'm doing a written report from an FBI assignment, and I keep it short though, very brief, and but I kind of lose myself when I get to the fucking demon thing in the septic tank, and so I'm like, and then we went through the house, we found this lockbox. But prior to all this, we'd actually gone outside. We found these gallons of gas. We found that there was no other, no other indication of the organization nearby, except we did find this thing in the septic tank. This fucking demon. Oh my god, it's fucking. I give a non.
I mentioned that it looked like his wife, and it looked like somebody had pulled her out of the water after a month.
Yeah. We can't be
she
sure.
Looked like she was dead, and so we shot it and tried to burn it. But instead of using 21 gallons of gasoline, we used 20. We used 1 gallon on the cabin.
Oh, so you did eliminate it. You did eliminate the possible vector.
Yes, or we tried to. I don't know if that's enough.
I mean,
it seemed resilient.
Okay. He pulls out a notebook, makes some notes, and what else? And you found some objects. I assume
whatever's in the foot locker.
Did you guys bring the trunk in with you?
Yeah.
Okay. He's like, okay, I will take the trunk. And thank you guys for your service. He writes you down and passes you a note, Jeff. It's the address to a veterinarian who will take care of your wounds. And thank you for your service. And we will call upon you again in the future. And that was Last Things Last.
We did that out of order a little bit.
What do you mean?
We did.
Well, maybe not. Is that how normally people go through that? I wonder. I'm curious how many.
I don't
people
know.
go.
It almost makes you want to watch somebody play it or see somebody else play it.
So I have listened to 2 different people run the game. And no, not really. Really, the like if you search the perimeter, like you're probably going to find Marlene first. The idea is that the hint being inside means that you'll probably go out. So the biggest thing is that you find Marlene. Like that's the biggest deal. So the letter is there in case the people are like, oh, we just go inside and we ransack the house, find the Foot Locker, and are like, so this is all we need, right? And then they read the letter.
So if they don't read the letter, they leave with Marlene still in the tank.
Yeah. And then you would probably do something else. Like I don't know what I would do if they're just like, yeah, we just take the trunk and leave. It's like, oh well, this is an uneventful situation. So you guys did really good looking around the house. So I don't think you really did it out. There really isn't an order that is presented.
No, but it is interesting that because like searching the perimeter doesn't seem like too far fetched of an approach.
Nope.
Just to make sure we get all those outbuildings and stuff like that. But it is pretty hilarious because I'm like, well, what as an FBI agent, I'm like, of course I would shoot at something. Bullets solve every problem from a law enforcement perspective. But they obviously didn't solve this problem. But it is, I think from a campaign perspective, it does provide you a nice little boogeyman that could come back.
Yeah, it's a nice little beginning.
Sure.
Yeah, and the other could be a nice little technically kind of outside of stuff. And then I'll ask you guys some questions. So basically what happened is the kind of the backstory, if you guys want to know it, is
Sure.
And spoilers for anybody
just
else.
a second. Spoilers
For anybody.
Yeah, this is your time. Not that we want you to stop watching, but if you don't want it spoiled, stop watching.
The reveal of Marlene in the tank is a pretty big spoiler in the first place. But so if you made it this far, you've already spoiled a little bit. But so basically the story is Clyde Bowman, his wife died of cancer, and Clyde Bowman used some resources that he found while helping out the program to try and cure his wife's cancer. And instead of what happened is she died and he brought her back as what he thinks is just a zombie, but it's really a thing called the Other is infesting her body. And one of the things that's interesting is like it can inhabit other dead things. So if something happens, like if you really want to put it in, you can like make roadkill or something before you ever get to like just make these hints of other dead things around nearby, and it can actually get into the bodies of other dead stuff. Like if it was a longer campaign, like I probably would have had you do a luck roll to see if you hit like a deer on the way out in the dark. Because if you hit a deer, the Other can go in the deer. And now the Other's a boogeyman to come back. You guys handle Marlene about as well as anybody else does, from what I understand.
No, I mean, it seems, I mean, it's, obviously with deltagreen, like lethality is a big deal. So, I mean, you could have killed Jeff that first combat pretty easy.
Could have,
especially since he was in physical proximity to
if she would have,
obviously I could have just,
if she would have critted, it would have been bad.
Oh yeah.
But you did good.
Or
comments?
I could have killed Jeff with gasoline.
Or you could have doused Jeff in gasoline.
In fairness, I did say douser.
No, which is the thing to do.
It seemed wrong. She just seemed wrong.
If you're being held on by a decaying corpse that's trying to bite and scratch you, douser seems like the logical thing to say. I can put the fire out.
Yeah, I was 100% willing to take that chance and less willing to take the chance on her getting out.
Right, exactly. I'm willing to take burns. So comments, questions, concerns, what you guys think? Did you guys have fun? Did you do okay?
No, it's good. I think it was go ahead, Jeff.
No, you go ahead. You start.
I was saying, no, it is good fun. It kind of reminds me, like cosmic horror it's a different type of horror, right? And so like in this one, you're like, oh, the creepy cabin trope. And then obviously in this case, the cabin was not the creepy thing at all. It was a fucking septic tank behind the cabin. And so it is always nice when you kind of upend that a little bit, because we thought there's a little bit of meta in your mind that's like, as long as we don't go to the cabin,
We're
at least right
probably
away
okay.
we can.
Yeah.
You're probably going to be able to prolong this a little bit, but I like
Yeah.
the twist of it being outside, because that's. I mean, I may not have been necessarily thinking that at the time, but now looking back at it, my brain probably was like, "Don't go in the cabin right away," because that's probably where the nasty bit is. Because every cabin has nasty on the inside, right? Like nearly every cabin. So that was good. I also like the fact that there was like I said, it's a good hook, to get you out there. And I think that, even with the way that they set up the new character pre-gems and everything like that, it didn't necessarily mean we had to go through like something that was like, you're all buddies and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So you have some flexibility to like,
the agent formula is pretty nice, because it's like, yeah, you guys are available, so you're both going. Get along or don't. We don't care. Just make sure that this gets done.
Just make sure that this doesn't do anything bad, that kind of thing. And so I like that too. So what about you, Jeff?
I like it. I always like deltagreen. I think it's a fun game. I think it's a good introduction to cosmic horror. Because it is a little bit different. It is a little bit different than what you might think that it is, and it gives you the opportunity to stretch yourself and do some things that aren't very. A lot of the games we play are heroic, right? We were just playing Fabula Ultima, which is very heroic.
Yeah,
we were doing great heroic things, and in this one, we were doing really cheap, cowardly things at times. Because we were outmatched. Yeah. We were outgunned.
One of the things that I like about deltagreen is it's realistically heroic. It's like, we're doing something heroic, but we're gonna try and be real safe while we do it. Like, we don't want to die either. Instead of like, the fighter grabbing his sword and running towards the fire, it's always, do we really want to open that? Do you think we could destroy it without opening that? Sort of thing, which I think is cool. So good. I'm glad you like the adventure. I think it's one of my favorite starting adventures for deltagreen that I've read. And I've wanted to run it for a long time. I have one more question after this little anecdote. But Ross Payton does one that's actually he runs this game that's on the Archdream website. And it's funny because one of the player characters just freaks out at the handler at the end of the game, like saying, zombies, and she like punches him and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't know how
I think that's a fair reaction.
Yeah,
I was way too injured to have anything.
Right, I was just like, I don't know.
I don't know how to handle that doctor's address.
I think it's just like the characters being kind of shocky and being like, yeah, so stuff happened. Is pretty good too, which is kind of how your characters were, but. So as far as me running the game, do you have any feedback for me?
I mean, so I thought it was a good session. I mean, it was nice. It wasn't too tangential, which is my problem. Like, you want an oyster? I'll give you a fucking oyster. The world is your oyster, kind of thing. No, I think it was tight, concise, and it got through to where we needed to be without being too bit, but we also still had a little bit of fun,
Yeah, no, that's the point. I like. I mean, egg salad sandwiches. That's
the characters. Even though it's a one shot, right? And it's an introductory thing, and we probably stretched it a little bit, but I thought that we had some room to breathe with our characters, and we had little moments where we could. Maybe not for the audience. Maybe for the audience, maybe for us, just to let people know what our vision of these characters was.
Yeah,
right. A little bit about how they operate. The one fucking time, the entire adventure that I didn't let him take the lead because I knew the cop would always just go in front, and I was like, he's dying first, and then he freaks out with shooting the thing, and then I wind up in the lead. And then I got to tell him to go get gas.
Yeah, it was perfect.
I thought that was funny. I don't know if did you guys notice?
Yeah.
The whole time I was walking
Yep.
behind Mike. I was totally fine. Just
Yep,
going.
I was surprised. I was surprised. No, for you guys, I think you guys did great. You brought, I think this is a good example of what you can do with pre-generated characters. Like you guys made them your own. You guys had personalities in mind, and you played them really well. And I appreciate how well you guys role played and played in this scenario. So that helps the kind of Delta Green stuff. So
still no voices, though. I hate to say it, still no voices.
I tried to pitch Marlene a little different.
You did, but definitely for the only voice that I did was the sick frog and throat voice.
The Sam Elliott voice.
I mastered it. I mastered it the entire session. So
yeah, you mastered the
Smashed
Sam
it.
Elliott voice. Yeah, you now if you ever play this character again, you'll have to
Yeah, you're gonna have to recreate that. Mike.
punch yourself in the throat or gargle razor blade.
Yeah, well, we found something
Well,
in that
we're ready.
septic tank.
That's more Duke Nukem than Sam Elliott, but yeah, okay.
Duke Nukem's a way to go. It's a direction.
It's true. It's a style.
Although I have to say that it's always there was that Parks and Rec episode with when it was the other Ron. Do you remember the guy who wore sandals and drank nut milk and all that stuff? And, like Ron liked him until like that moment.
Well, yeah, they were the same person except for these base character differences.
Yeah, there is one other one that I did listen to of Last Things Last where they have a priest in the agency in the program, and he tries to exorcise the thing, and it just jumps out of the thing and almost eats his face off. Yeah.
Exorcism has always seemed problematic to me from that standpoint. Like you really have this powerful being, right? If we're accepting that it's an actual demonic possession, you have this powerful being, and its carrier is bound, but the being is more powerful than the frail human body containing it at the moment. You know what I mean?
It's also funny because it's not Satan; it's something else.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another funny one. But they're all like, listen to it, see what you like, see what you don't like. It's a pretty simple scenario, A and B scenario.
Yes.
Really, you guys brought the scenario to life, which is kind of what I always hope for, is to get the players drawn in to give the scenario life. So your guys' interactions, like in the apartment, and then on the car ride, like those are really what made the scenario is what I try to do. So. I'm glad.
I'm just telling you, every character I play from now on, if I've got to open a door, I'm like,
hey,
hey, can I borrow your credit card? I told Jess that, Mike. I told my partner about that, and she goes, wasn't he staying at a hotel? Why didn't he just hand you his hotel key card? Because if that gets screwed up, you just get a new one from the front desk. I'm like, I don't know why he didn't. I just wasn't using mine. I didn't screw it up.
There were so many
places.
There were so many things that could have gone wrong with that. Oh, crit fail. Oh, well, yeah, the credit card or hotel key is now broke in the door jam.
Yeah, it's stuck. You can't get it out. I thought it was funny that she immediately went to.
Yeah, no, that's a good one though. That's a good thing to remember.
She's got a promising life of crime, really.
That I didn't know about.
Yeah,
it's true. So I mean, I guess in terms of plugs, because I think with me still being sick, I'm probably going to want to end it pretty soon.
Yeah,
I don't see any questions in chat. So
no, I think we're good there.
I think we're good.
So next week on Monday, we'll probably get into Monster of the Week. I don't know if this will be a shorter episode because Monsters of the Week, the thing about it is that when you start a game of it, part of the gameplay is kind of like Fate, where you create your characters and you kind of like determine how they connect with each other. So if you guys want to, we can create characters Thursday, or if you want, we can just kind of get it all together on Monday and just kind of try to play through it. And that might mean that we do 2 sessions with it, or a really long 1 session. But I don't know if that's a long stream. You want to do that.
I think it also depends on how you feel. So why don't we?
Yeah, let's depend on. Yeah. I was kind of thinking, with just grabbing the Halloween thunder, right? That we were going to try to make it like 1, but if that means that Brent and I need to take some time and
make a
try and do
character.
some-
Yeah, and like I said,
Yeah.
we could also put some character creation together on Thursday.
It's Thursday,
and
and maybe,
Yeah.
maybe we can do that for part of yeah.
Yeah, we can do the Delta Green wrap up for Thursday, and then maybe do character creation for Monster of the Week. That's
Okay.
good. That would be a good recording.
The good news is, yeah, and the good news is it's a fair. I mean, it is a more narrative driven game, so the rules aren't so heavy that you're like, oh dear, like I have so many rules to learn. It's really pretty easy. And I think that's since Brent's already aware of kind of how the apocalypse world, powered by the apocalypse stuff works. Jeff, it'll be more for you.
Okay, that's fair.
It's pretty easy, really.
Okay.
The weirdest part is just kind of we can discuss that on Thursday.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I'll do a little research.
Yeah, I have the stuff. We'll get it all talked out. So
Okay.
So with that, I guess Jeff, do you want to tell people how they can contact us other than leaving comments on our live stream and other videos?
You can hunt us down on Threads, X, Facebook, and YouTube at Rollwise. And you can get us by email at rollwiseguys@gmail.com.
It is late here, everyone, so excuse our faux pas. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for Last Things Last, whether you listen to this as a recorded episode or on the stream. And as always, roll well, roll wise, and don't crawl into any septic tanks. Thank you, everybody.
Sound advice.